Hello and welcome to For the Record, the podcast where we separate fact from fiction. I'm your host, Alex Cooper. Today we've got a special guest with us, Reggie Josephus, host of the Thought Experiment podcast. How are you, Reggie?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Alex.
Thanks for being here. So, I'm aware you attended a prestigious Ivy League university, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I wanted to ask, had you heard about the students that were caught cheating during a final exam? They had these advanced devices disguised as pencils.
Really? I can't say I have yet. When did this happen?
A few weeks ago. Props to them for putting in the effort. Probably would have just taken the zero.
Man, are you serious? What a waste. How did they get caught?
There was a group of students huddled outside the exam hall. A professor noticed they all had earbuds in with a box of what looked like pencils. He confiscated the items and turned them in. The pencils were not pencils, actually, and they turned out to be devices that transmitted the answers to them. The whole thing unraveled and the students were expelled.
The lengths people will go to for a perfect score. Can you believe it?
I could, actually, but I was just messing with you. Sure, it's happened before, though.
What? What do you mean?
I made it up. There was no scandal at all.
What? I gotta say, you had me for a moment there.
It was a pretty harmless lie, right? And you believed it, but there were no real consequences from it. Can you imagine if I'd convinced you there was a fake government scandal going on and you went and told everyone about it? It would have been pretty bad. Your podcast has been criticized for spreading misinformation by masking it as a serious situation, when it's usually not. I've invited you onto the show because of this, so as I told you, I want to give you a chance to defend yourself.
Yes.
But I also invited a fan of your podcast to join us today, so you can defend yourself or apologize to her. Now, if she claims she's very confused about this controversy and is questioning if your show can be trusted, come on in, Emma.
Hello?
Well, this will make this even easier. How often do you watch my show, Emma?
Whenever I see an interesting episode. They're often pretty entertaining.
Great to hear. Did you see the
Reggie,
episode?
let's stay on topic.
Right. Well, first of all, I'm not deliberately spreading misinformation. Actually, I'm not spreading anything at all. But it's not like I'm an expert in anything. I just
Reggie,
want to...
millions of people listen to your podcast, and your defense is that you're just not an expert? This is your job. People might hold me to a higher standard because of my psychology degree than if I were some crazy nut on the street that just said stuff. But some people are still going to believe those crazy people. That's why all sources of information should still be held to a high standard. Don't you think your podcast has a responsibility to be truthful?
Well, his podcast is just him chatting with people. It's not supposed to be informational.
Exactly, Emma. I may get things wrong, but I'm only human. My interests lie within discovery and discussing separate opinions. I'm just presenting a different perspective.
Reggie, you're reporting news and things that have happened. People are definitely getting their information from you to an extent. You bring people on your show, but some of their perspectives are dangerous. People will hear what's said on that podcast and believe it if you don't address what's false. Like what was said about vaccines. That sparked heated controversies. You can't be contributing to that.
Look, Alex, I thought I came in here to talk, but you're just attacking me.
How can you defend yourself otherwise?
Alright, buddy, my entire show is discussing opinions, so do you just expect me to cancel the entire episode just because some people don't agree?
No, I expect you to review the entire episode because some people spread lies that you never address. There was a study that showed just around 90% of people think they're good at spotting liars. But that's just confidence. Most of the time, they fall for it anyways because it's such tiny details. When it comes to big fake news, it's worse if they actually believe it.
I don't think people believe something as soon as they're told. I know I can tell if someone's lying. Plus, if I doubt anything, then I'll research it myself.
Emma has a point. People can always just look into things themselves.
So you expect everyone to research everything they find on the internet?
Of course not, but people shouldn't believe something important the first time they hear it. That's not my problem.
You're telling people, don't believe anything. When just a month ago, you were convincing your audience that vaccines were giving people cancer.
I see you can't get this to your thick head. We cannot censor everything just because you don't like it. It's a different opinion, and that's all.
It's not just me, Reggie. It might be a different opinion, but that doesn't change the fact you've been causing misconceptions. It's reckless and irresponsible. In 2014, some guy went on the news claiming the world was going to end. Stupid, right? But some people believed it. It's caused riots, just like some are going to believe the next lunatic you bring on your show.
I'm not putting anyone in danger. People are smart enough to make up their own minds.
Sometimes they aren't. This stuff has consequences, and we've got a responsibility to fact-check everything we put on the internet. It's far easier than it should be to just spew out words and have everyone around you believe it. It's serious business. Whether you believe something or not, you have to have real evidence. Otherwise, it's just deceptive information. When you speak on a controversial or political topic, your words are going to spread like wildfire online.
Reggie can't help that some people are dumb. There'll always be people like that listening to him. Some of those people even listen to you.
Yes, but the difference is we almost never spread misinformation. When we do, we address it and we apologize. Let me ask you, Emma, who do you trust more, yourself or Reggie?
Myself, of course.
Right. Well, I stated that a study showed 90% of people think they're good at spotting liars. That was a lie. It's actually around 53%. I also made up the fact that I'm an expert in psychology. I'm not. See, anyone could claim they're an expert in something, but it's up to the host to check if they're actually, professionals. I might know some things about psychology, but in no way am I an expert. But you believed me when I said it. You didn't even question when I mentioned the guy that thought the world was going to end. It's likely, especially in our time, but I still made it up. Can you really trust yourself? I was the one that made these insignificant lies that you thought were real. I could have stopped the lies from even being mentioned, but I didn't, just like Reggie here. It's up to the creators, celebrities, or news teams to stop the misinformation by fact-checking what they say. Viewers shouldn't have to question everything they watch. What's the point of reporting news if it's just made up?
I guess you're right. I did fall for it.
Emma, don't let him gaslight you. He thinks you're dumb.
I do not think you're dumb.
I'm not dumb, but he's got a point. We shouldn't have to think twice. If you really are spreading misinformation, Reggie, that's not going to end well. You could still have interesting conversations, but when you or your team spot false facts in your recordings, tell the audience.
Alright, Alex, I see what you did. You tricked my fans to think I'm a liar, and you turned her against me.
I didn't turn her against you.
Was that the plan the whole time, to just point and laugh at me?
No,
Alex
Reggie.
was just proving a point, and he's right. You're a fake. I knew your work was too far-fetched.
Whoa, Emma.
Well, I won't have it. I'm out of here.
Well, on that note, sorry about that. Thanks for joining us on For the Record. Remember, the truth matters.